brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, best-selling author multiple times over, and lately best-selling author of the new book, children's book, I'm Glad for Where I Am, the second in the series. She's my co-host today and my daughter. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Adriana is in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Adriana. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband passed away about a year ago, and
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
How long were you married?
13 years.
Wow. How old was he?
He was only 41.
Whoa, what happened?
It was a rare presentation of colon cancer, and from diagnosis to his death, it was just under 2 years. So it was really fast.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Thank you. So the biggest issue is that I have life insurance money. Luckily, we had that. Mm-hmm. And I hired some financial advisors, and they're advising that I invest in whole life insurance for the kids, because there's a high introductory interest rate, and there may be a genetic component. The other big thing is that I am intending to take over the mortgage on my house because it's in my parents' name, and I want to take it over. So they have advised some credit, to have some credit in order to build my credit line. I'm not working, I'm homeschooling, and I'm getting Social Security. I'm just wondering, are those the best routes to take? And if not, what is?
Well, you obviously smelled a rat, or you wouldn't be asking.
Right.
Yeah. And so, are you sure these are financial advisors and not just insurance agents?
They have a financial planning. I mean, that's what they say they are.
Okay. What's the company?
Well, they work with, I think the company with the whole life is New York. I'm sorry, it's Eagle Strategies.
Now, New York, but New York Life.
New York Life, yes.
Yeah, these are insurance agents. They're not financial advisors.
Okay.
Because the insurance people don't know how to do anything but sell insurance. And they're not licensed to sell anything but insurance.
But she said Eagle, there was another event.
Yeah, but I mean,
investing
you
firm.
can't write for a New York Life unless you're a New York Life agent. So they're captives. So it's not an independent. So, this is just the name of the local New York Life office. So no, we're not doing business with them. You need to move. You need to move. You're getting bad advice.
Okay.
So here's the thing. You've been through a terrible thing at a very young age. And so there's always a potential genetic component anytime someone gets cancer. That's why when you're doing a life insurance of any kind application, they ask about your parents and if they have died of cancer, because they want to see that, because there are statistical correlations to that, to at least susceptibility, if not DNA issue, and so on, right? I'm not a medical person, but that's what how the insurance world views it, and I do know that. Okay, so, but that doesn't change what you need to be doing. What you need to be doing is taking care of your family, which you're doing, and building some wealth for your future and the kids' futures. And then when they face something, if they ever face it, they will, let's say they're 28 and married with 2 kids. By then they should have term life insurance in place. And then if they had some kind of an occurrence like you guys did, then they would be ready that way. You don't buy whole life insurance on a child because their parent died of cancer. That's asinine.
Okay.
Mathematically. Okay. And it's just insurance agent. I mean, if you ask a dog if it's hungry, it always says yes. If you ask an insurance agent if you should buy insurance, they always say yes. So, I mean, it's just, especially in the whole life world. And so, no, you do need to get the mortgage into your name instead of your parents' names. and that's going to require some other things, but we don't need to go get in debt to cause that to happen. So here's what we're going to do, okay? We don't need anything from you. We're not trying to sell you anything. Quite the opposite. As people of faith, our book tells us to take care of widows and orphans. And people that take advantage of widows and orphans, by the way, really get in a bad place. You don't want to be there. And so we're going to do quite the opposite here. I'm going to furnish you a Ramsey counselor, a Ramsey coach that's been through our training completely free. And let them coach you through how to get your investments structured and how to get this mortgage redone and hands-on rather than trying to give you an insurance agent. I mean, give you an answer on the radio, and certainly not going to give you an insurance agent. So, I mean, you may need some insurance. All insurance agents aren't evil. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that if you ask a whole life agent if you should buy whole life, 100% of the time they say, oh, yes, it's the answer to everything. And if you ask me if you should buy whole life, 100% of the time I say it's never the answer to anything.
Yeah, and in her situation,
crap.
she has the 2 kids, so you hit on you hit
dirty that he's taking advantage of that emotion.
Yes, so that on the health side, but the other component of whole life of what people get sold on too is the investment idea, right? And she was even saying,
yeah, they have a high upfront interest rate.
So, but for her to know that there's other options on how to invest for your kids, that you actually they'll end up with more money,
a whole lot more
than versus even just
if you put
this
it
policy.
in a fruit jar, you'll end up with more than screwing around with a whole life insurance policy. Because at least if something happens, you've got the money in the jar. These people take it all. It's the payday lender of the middle class. That's how bad it sucks mathematically. It's absolutely a scummy product. And to play on a widow's emotions about her children might have, oh God, whew, that's particularly nasty. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself.
But they also are convinced, agents are, that it really is the best, right? I'm like,
well, there's only 2 kinds. There's ones that are dumb and are convinced it's a good product, because that's the only way you could convince yourself is if you can't do math, or you're scum.
Right.
You know,
so
and you're selling something, or you're selling something you know is bad.
So but I think for people listening though, does
it not give you a little bit of a chill to sell a widow her kids stuff based on the death of their dad? I mean, does that not just a little bit? Hello, people. I mean, that's nasty. So
well, and the good thing is that there's other avenues for both of these from the insurance routes.
All kinds of avenues.
Totally. So
a lot of stuff you can do.
That's the hopeful side.
And almost all of it is better than this.
Yeah, and what happens, I could imagine when she's sitting in their office and they're explaining it, there's not option A, we could do whole life, option B, you could do term life and this, and option C, it's all one thing, right?
Yeah,
it's like, this is the only option. And so just to know that there's hope, that there's so many things out there for her to do, that she's going to be okay financially, and her kids are going to be okay. Trying to give some hope.
Yeah. Ugh. Hang on. Christian will pick up, honey. We'll get you taken care of. No cost to you. 0. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey guys, here's a quick math refresher. There are only 24 hours in a day. So you and your team need to streamline time-consuming tasks to focus on the activities that actually make money. Smart businesses are realizing that to reduce headaches as they scale, they need NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one platform. With NetSuite, you reduce IT costs because NetSuite is cloud-based. You cut the cost of maintaining multiple systems because you've got one source of truth. And you improve efficiency by bringing all your major business processes into one platform, slashing manual tasks and errors. So join the 37,000 plus companies, including Ramsey Solutions, that have done the math and are boosting their efficiency with NetSuite. And right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist designed to drive the right behaviors for your business absolutely free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey to get your free KPI checklist. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. It's wedding and graduation season, and if you've been changed by what we teach and you want to help a graduate or maybe a young couple start out the way they're supposed to start out, there's a cool way to do it. We call it the Live and Give box. In the Live and Give box, I'm reaching for it here, trying to get my YouTube self together. The Total Money Makeover book, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, two of my number one bestsellers. But most importantly, you get signed up for Financial Peace University, all in one kit. And boy, wouldn't you love to have started out your life with that? Hello. It's pretty cool. And if you've got a graduate out there too, Ken Coleman's book came out this week, called Find the Work You're Wired to Do. It includes the Get Clear Career Assessment in it. And so, which is really important if you're going to get started, you know. And so, again, graduation and wedding season, not a bad gift, particularly graduates, right? And now, I know you've already got a degree in whatever, but, yeah, I want you to get clear on it. And the Live and Give box, check all of this at RamseySolutions.com in the store. If you want to go straight to the box, just RamseySolutions.com/box for the Live and Give box. Bryce is with us in Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, Bryce, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sure. How can I help?
So I have around $34,000 saved up, and I make about $4,200 a month. I spend probably $1,500 after bills and food, and I was just wondering, instead of me putting money into my 401k, and instead could I just invest in real estate and put rental properties up, and so I can have an income at all times.
Well, you don't have the money to buy a rental property.
I was going to go and take out a FHA loan.
Yeah, which tells me you don't have the money to buy a rental property. So, Bryce, what we have found is that the people that avoid debt, including rental properties, are the ones that prosper. I own a bunch of real estate. I love real estate. I'd love for you to own some real estate since you want to someday as a part of your life, but I want you to pay cash for it. Do you own the home you're living in?
Yes.
Okay. Is it paid off?
Yes.
Good. Good for you. What's it worth?
I got it appraised last year. It's probably worth $120,000.
Good for you.
But it was family owned, so I got it for $30,000.
Wow, you got a deal. Good for you. Well, that's cool. So I'll tell you what I did, and I would recommend you do something similar. Okay. We recommend that if you're out of debt and you have your emergency fund in place, then we do baby steps 4, 5, and 6. And baby step 4 is 15% of your income, which is, you're making like $50,000, $60,000 a year. Okay. And so we're talking about $7,000, $8,000 a year is all. Okay. Going into your 401k, Roth, preferably if they have a Roth available, and with a match, that'd be wonderful, and some good mutual funds. Beyond that, I started saving once my house was paid off to buy my first real estate after I had gone broke in real estate by having too much debt. So, by the way, but yeah, so anyway, I just took an S&P fund and I started chunking money beyond my 15% into that S&P. And when it got to be enough in there to pay cash for my first little rental, that's what I did. You're probably not that far from doing that. Like, what price range would you spend for your first rental, Bryce?
So I was going to buy a 10-acre lot for $75,000, and then I can get a used trailer that was repossessed for $10,000. They redo it and everything, and then it cost me $5,000 to get it put in. and then I already have someone putting in my septic for $2,000.
Problem is that won't go up in value. Only the dirt will, not the trailer. So
Yeah.
I would not invest in that as a rental because I want to invest in a home or a duplex or something that's going to go up in value, not go down in value. And so the only time I would look at trailers is if you bought a whole trailer park, and they cash flow like a bandit. They make so much money, cash on cash return. It's unbelievable. But you've got the constant problem of taking them out of service because they deteriorate.
Yeah.
And you don't want to take a nice subdivision, a good piece of dirt, and put a trailer on it.
Yeah. How old are you, Bryce?
19.
You're 19.
Yeah. You got plenty of time to do this right.
You got lots of time. Yeah. And I would say too, Bryce, just to this point, it's going to take you, and you're a smart guy. I'm like, you're already at 19. You're like thinking of ways, how can I wheel and deal and, make some money, which is so great. And then this process, it's going to take you longer. But I think having a goal as you do the math out and say, okay, how long will it take me to save up? Because where you are in Louisville, Kentucky, I'm like, save, $150,000 and go find a foreclosure at some point. This may be years down the road. And that be your first, find the deal on the sale and just say, yeah, this is gonna be my first. And you just slowly build. But the frustrating thing about this process, Bryce, is that it's slow. But the great thing about it is that it carries so much peace with it. It carries so much peace. You're not stressed.
And by the way, I've bought over 2,000 pieces of property, and Rachel's husband, Winston, does this for a living now. It's what he does. He's in the real estate business. And he was trained here with me running my property. And so we're both doing the exact same things we're telling you to do.
Yep.
And we're just decades past you. We're, 20, 30, 40 years beyond your process. But I remember the first time I finally got $150,000 saved up. And oddly enough, that's what it was to buy that first property. And I had it laying there in that mutual fund. And then I looked around and found a bargain. And there we go. And as soon as you get about 3 of these that you own that are paid for, the rents coming off of 3 paid for properties are pure. They're not going to the bank. You're not paying any payments on them. So that pure rent stacks up fast, and you can buy another property every so often just off of the rents.
That
you get a positive snowball.
And Winston and I, what we've done too, there was a condo we got. Our very first rental was a condo. And in foreclosure, nasty thing. It was like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I mean, it was not much.
Nasty. It was really nasty.
It wasn't much, but we fixed it up, did it. And then 8 years later, it doubled. And so we were like, well, we could sell that, go to find another deal somewhere else. So you can even step up in property too, as you go through this process. If you don't want to just hold on to it.
You got rid of that junky condo?
We did.
Wow.
We did.
That thing was like a family member. It had been around a while. It was your first one. It was your first.
Winston was attached. I was good.
Yeah, not you. Yeah.
That was fine. I trusted him. I was like, if that's good.
I did not know the junky condo was gone. That's cool. Although it wasn't junky anymore. It wasn't junky.
Good to it.
But that's how I started out.
But it is fun, Bryce, and I think a lot of people are interested in that. This idea that investing sounds boring, but it's a tried and true way to build wealth. So do it. But then the other offshoot of investing and what you're talking about, and you're actually going to talk about it at y'all's investing live stream coming up.
Yeah,
is real estate, and people really are interested, and it is. It's you love it. I mean, it's a great way to kind of diversify even your wealth building when it comes to that.
I've made a lot more money in real estate than I have in mutual funds, and I've also put more money in real estate because I'm a real estate person, and the mutual funds. So my personal net worth is probably 80% real estate. Between mutual funds and real estate anyway, not counting this business that I own and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's very interesting. So Bryce, the key is it's very difficult at any age, but it's really difficult to go slow when you're 19. Please listen to the old people. Go slow. The people who go slow in real estate are the ones that are still doing it 20 years later. The ones that go fast get burned and they get to start over again, which is what I did. I started buying real estate when I was 22, and by the time I was 28, I was broke. And so went from nothing to a millionaire to broke between 22 and 28. And so I just don't want that for you. I want you to just go slow. I don't want your face on the front of Fast Company magazine. I want your face on the front of Slow Company magazine. So
Slow Real Estate.
Slow Real Estate magazine.
Which is
you're not going to be
everybody in America right now. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're not going to be a TikTok sensation. I can promise you, and not if you're doing it right. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, it's Rachel Cruz here to tell you about a faith-based alternative to health insurance that can make healthcare more affordable. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM allows members to share each other's healthcare costs, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And Step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of your eligible medical bills. With no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. Find out more at chministries.org/budget.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Kevin and Katie are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Better than we deserve. Welcome. Where do you live?
We're from Keene, New Hampshire.
All right.
A little northwest of Keene, New Hampshire.
Fun. Welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid?
$122,836.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And how long did this take?
It was 4 years and 2 months.
4 years and 2 months. Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started at about $60,000 and ended up at about $130,000.
Wow.
Nice.
Doubled your income in 4 years.
Yes, sir.
How'd you do that?
I asked my boss to just bury me in work.
And he obliged.
Yes, he did.
What do you do?
I'm an independent insurance adjuster.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
Okay. So it is, you can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And what about you, Katie? What do you do?
I'm stay-at-home mom and homeschool mom.
Love it. Good for you guys. Well done. All right. So this is all, that income change is all on your boss burying you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
pretty much.
Good. Very good. Very cool. What kind of debt was this 123?
It was a multitude of just about everything. Student loans, 2 cars, credit cards, medical bills. Don't think I'm missing anything else. Yeah, about that. But just normal.
You were normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long y'all been married?
Almost 13 years.
So
Yeah.
9 years into the marriage, give or take, 8 years into the marriage, something happened. What happened?
First off, we just want to thank you and thank God for putting that blessing and that call on your heart to help us and help the millions of people that you've helped so far and will continue to help. And that's really where our journey began, is getting into our Bible and getting back to those biblical principles that are buried in there that we just needed to go find. And you really brought them to light for so many people, and including us. But when about 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, we went in to go get diapers for our middle child at the time, and I went through probably about 3 or 4 different cards, and I couldn't buy them.
Ooh.
And I walked out back to the car and sat down next to Katie and said, "We can't do this anymore."
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That'll
couldn't
break a dad's heart.
Yep, I couldn't buy diapers for my daughter.
Yeah. That'll put an end to it.
Mhm.
And so you go home and you're like, okay, we're selling everything.
Yep. Yep.
We pulled the old book off the shelf because the
Yep.
book went through 8 different moves with us.
And never read it.
Nope.
No. We
Which
got it
one?
for our
Which
wedding.
one? Total Money Makeover?
Yeah.
It was the
We hear
workbook,
that
actually,
we
not
hear
the
that
whole
a
book.
lot. We hear this a lot. This is a very
Total Money
common
Makeover,
story.
America's coaster on your coffee table. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So Katie, when that moment happens, you're sitting there in the car. Are you thinking, "Oh, thank God, let's do something," or were you like, "Wait, Is it that bad? Oh gosh. Like, what was your reaction in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a feeling of dread. Like, everything that we've done, trying to live normal, just didn't work. Like at all for us, it all came crashing down.
Yeah.
And then we were pretty much all in. We talked to our pastor at our church, and they were offering FPU.
Oh, good. So you went through financial peace.
We got in a class right away.
Yep.
We had to travel like an hour for it.
Yeah, we drove an hour for it to Concord, New Hampshire.
Wow.
Yep, from us.
And then shortly thereafter, the next February of 2020, we led our first class ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
so
thank you.
literally a couple months after we got out, we decided, we're going to lead our own class.
And then right in the middle is when COVID hit.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. January of 2020. Yep.
Of course.
So.
Oh man. Well, which debt was it for you guys that you were like, oh, it's gone? I'm so glad it's gone.
Credit cards.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
It was student loans for me.
Okay. Oh.
Yep. It was that last one where it was just over the hump, especially during when you're right in the middle of it all. And the longer that you're doing it, the higher the debt is that you're trying to pay off.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that snowball, it works, but
The mountains to climb.
Yeah. Yep.
The back of it's steep.
It was $50,000, so it was almost half of our debt was the student loans at the end.
Yep. Oh,
and we paid that all off in 1 year. That was our last year.
Whoa. So you did half of it in 3 years and the other half in 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a baby along the way.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So that slowed us down, and I had a surgery as well right after I had the baby. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
Life definitely happened.
Then that math is fair. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Way to go, guys.
Thank you.
You persevered. You kept with it. Why didn't you quit?
Well, you saw one of them coming up on the scene.
I don't ever want to have that feeling again of not being able to buy diapers.
Yep. I can't wait to buy somebody a pack of diapers that's struggling with their cards that I see at Target or Walmart or whatever.
Wow.
I can't wait to go and buy.
You may buy a whole bunch of diapers in your life before this is over. God may just keep putting them in line in front of you.
Yep. We'll just keep on blessing.
I love it. That's fabulous.
What do you guys say to families out there? Because I have 3 little ones too, and I just know life is just tiring, right? You're in a really tiring season, and as you're home all day with the kids while he's working extra, right? So you probably feel like a single mom half the time while he's gone. You're exhausted. So what do you say to families out there listening? And they're like, this is just not the time. This isn't the time to do it. We're so tired. We're barely getting by. Like, I don't know. What would you say to them?
I would just tell them to continue to communicate with each other, because that's been the key to this whole thing. Don't give up, to keep on going, no matter how grueling it gets, no matter how long the days are, no matter how much time that you feel like you don't spend with your kids. They're still going to be there. They're very resilient. They're still licking lollipops and laughing along the way. But just to keep on going. Don't give up.
Yeah, that's good.
It's never too late to start.
Never too late.
I mean, we were married for years and years, and at one point we had said we're always going to have a car payment. Always. It came out of his mouth.
Yep.
And now we're never going to have a car payment.
It's not like a statement of principle. It's a statement of hopelessness.
Yeah. Exactly.
We've been there, and you can turn it around. You can turn your perspective around.
So good, you guys. Oh, amazing.
Well, thanks to your pastor for teaching Financial Peace University at his church, and it was there at just the right time.
It was.
Go figure. Who knew? Yeah.
So great.
Yeah, very cool. Good for you guys. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done. You're heroes.
Thanks.
You're heroes to those little kids. You changed their whole family tree. So well done, y'all.
Thank you.
So well done. You're on the opposite of the spectrum from not being able to buy diapers to buying diapers for the rest of your life. There you go. For other people this time. There we go. I like it. If you live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. That's how that works. All right, bring the kiddos up. What are their names and ages?
So we've got Isaiah is 9, Mia is 5, and Levi is 3.
All right. And we've got matching dresses with Mom. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So cute.
I like that.
They've been practicing their debt-free scream in the car right here.
All the way down.
Yep.
From New Hampshire to Tennessee, that's a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Lots of Advil.
For you.
Yes.
Very good, guys. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank
You're
you.
heroes. You're amazing. You've done something that's absolutely not normal. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well done. All right, Kevin and Katie, Isaiah, Mia, and Levi, $123,000 paid off in 4 years and 2 months, making 60 to 130 of buried in my work. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Oh, very good. Very cool. Cute kids, and I think Mia wins the award. Maybe
I know.
She got it down and then went right back to the lollipop right after the scream. Very well done. Good stuff, you guys. Very cool. So encouraging. You can do this at any stage of life, with any income, with any situation. When you decide to change, that's when things change. No external force is going to do it. No matter who's in the White House, you still got to fix you. This is The Ramsey Show. You know, it doesn't take a degree in statistics to realize that this one stinks. 93% of undergraduate private student loans are co-signed. So when you're delinquent and drowning in private student loan debt, Mom or Dad or Uncle Joe is stuck in that financial stress along with you. But there is a way out. Why Refi? Why Refi offers a custom refinancing option with a fixed rate loan based on your ability to pay. And the average interest rate Why Refi offers is 3.9%, which can significantly reduce your monthly payment and decrease your total cost. Why Refi refinances your defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch. And I trust them to help you get out of debt. So don't be another statistic in the student loan swamp. Contact Why Refi at 844-2-RAMSEY or go to whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's 844-2-RAMSEY or the letter Y, then refy.com/Ramsey. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Clayton is with us in Charleston, South Carolina. Hi, Clayton. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So I got a question for y'all. My wife and I just bought our first house, and I'm currently a UPS driver. I make $30.78 an hour, and my wife is a doctor's assistant. She makes about $23 an hour. So overall, we make a little over $100,000 a year, which is great. But I just got recently a job offer. It is a pay cut, but it is a better quality of life. We have no debt other than our house. We owe $244,000 left on our house. We put about $70,000 down on the house. And I just want to know, what do you think I should do? Should I stay where I'm currently at and work to pay this house off, or should I take this job and get a better quality of life?
When you say
I'm able to be around with my family, and
give me
I'm able to start having
How
kids
many
with
kids
my
do you
wife
have?
and everything. So we don't have any kids right now.
So your family's your wife.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm confused. How many hours a week are you working as a UPS driver?
Anywhere between 55 to 60 hours a week.
Are you able to cut back on just your hours there if you wanted to?
Unfortunately, no. The way it works is whenever you start is the start time that they give us, and then whenever you're finished delivering is when you're finished.
Okay, so when Clayton,
unfortunately, there's nothing else.
Okay, what's the price, like what are you going to be making, the difference in income?
So currently I'm $30.75, and then the new job will be $25.38 an hour.
And have you run
about a $5 jump?
Okay, yeah, and have you guys run the math
It's
on?
not a $5 jump because you're going to be doing 40 hours instead of 55.
Correct.
So it's a 50% pay cut.
Yeah,
because you're not going to be working as many hours, and you're going to be making less per hour.
Correct.
Have you guys run a budget to see, to see, hey, if I took this new job, and with the pay cut and the hours I'm going to be working, here's what we have left, and like this will be our life financially. Yeah. Have you guys run those numbers?
We have, but I just feel like we're missing something. And
yeah, you're running it at 55. You're running it by the hour. That's what you're missing.
Right.
You need to run the actual totals, and then you're going to realize that you're taking a $35,000 year pay cut. No, you don't need to take this job. That's bullcrap. You weren't looking for a job. This thing popped up, and it's not the answer to your problem. Okay.
Well, I was looking for a job.
Okay. Well, C is what you want. You want a job that pays what UPS is paying without working 55 hours. Not by the hour, by the total. So I want you to find a career. You're making about $70,000 a year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I also get a pay jump this year too.
Good. I want you to find a career that pays $70,000 to $80,000 a year and start working your way towards that career, working 40 hours or so. Now, I've done work for UPS, speaking to your guys' executives, and I know a bunch of UPS drivers and retired UPS people, and
it's a great place.
The stock plan is incredible.
It's good.
I mean, and I don't know exactly where you are, what you're doing works, but my feeling would be, Clayton, that you could probably pick another route over time that got your hours down.
Yeah, I was going to say.
As you move up in seniority, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not how it works?
As you move up in seniority, you can get a better route and stuff. But at my center, there's over 100 drivers, and I'm currently like number 70. So that's going to be like 10, 15 years from now.
No, it's not. No, it's not. They don't stay. You got turnover in there. They don't all have to die off.
Yeah.
And so I think you need to talk to some guys around there and find out how long it's going to take you to get into a more reasonable route situation where you can control the thing, because you're a low man on the totem pole right now, so you're getting crappy runs that have long hours. Of course, holidays, you've got crappy runs that have long hours. It just goes with your territory. But UPS is a company of work hard and pays well. That's the company.
Right.
They have a real work ethic culture. It's one of the reasons that they were attracted to me, and vice versa. So it's been many years ago that I did that. But just the same, I came away from my time working with their executive teams and stuff with a respect for your all's culture. But no, I think if you want to work less hours, you need to figure out how long it's going to take you to get there at UPS as a possibility. Also say, okay, what career field can I start moving towards? And if it takes me a little while to get towards that career with some of the steps that King Coleman outlines, I would do that. But this presupposing that I'm going to cut my pay in half so I can work 40 hours and so I can be home with the dog, nah.
Clayton, how old are you?
Well, let me ask.
Can I ask you that? How old are you?
I'm 26 and my wife is 27.
Okay.
I actually wanted to say something else real quick too. With this new job, my hours will be 40 a week, but I go in at 6 and I clock out at 2. So it gives me the opportunity to pick up a second job.
So where's the quality of life increase, dude?
Well, no.
Now you're back to 55 hours a week and you're just making less.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Now you picked up a side hustle So unless that side hustle's taking you into something where you want to be when you're 36, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not saying UPS is the end all to be all. I'm not. If you want out of there, I'll help you get out of there. Hang on, I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book, this new one, Find the Work You're Wired to Do, the Get Clear Assessment. And I want you to take that assessment, and I want you to start thinking about what you really want to be, not just what you make. What is it you want to do with your life? And I will tell you folks out there, aside from this, I'm not about workaholism. I'm not about you abandoning your family in the name of work and never knowing your children's names or anything like that. I didn't do that when our kids were growing up. I went through a season where I worked my tail off, 16-hour days. But it was a season. It was not a lifestyle. And the children were little bitty, and their mother would tell you that she was a single mom during that time. But she and I talked it through. It's what we were doing to start this place that I operate today. It was the foundation of this place. In the 90s, I was doing that. And so it was a period of time. I meet almost no one who has a high-quality life that has left their mark on their family and on this earth that does it on 40 hours. I'm going to work 40 hours my whole life. You're just, for a period of time, if you're training for a marathon, you have to sweat. Now, do you have to do that every single day? No. When you finish, when you hit the next time, you take a little time down, okay? But you work like no one else so that later you can work like no one else. And, you're just now getting involved, and I don't know. I guess all your friends are out partying while you're working because you're 24. And, that's going to show, or you're 26, they're going to show up in their lives.
There's seasons of sacrifice. And for Clayton, and I don't know, I'm just making this up, but I'm like, there could be a season you're an entry-level guy. You got the crappy route, and you do that for 2 years, and then you get a better route, better pay, and you know what I mean? But you don't get to start off, and not that he's saying this, but you don't get to start off, at the top necessarily. And so it was funny, I was doing career day at my third graders little class, and they said, where did you start off? I was like, I started off going to assemblies in high schools all across America, and I did that for 3 years.
Got paid zip.
Who knows? I didn't get paid. Yeah. I mean, who knows where in these
Nebraska.
these small towns and all of it. But there is that level of sacrifice. But then there's a clip going around on you on the socials, and you're like, work 80 hours a week. So everyone does think that you're just like a workaholic.
Oh, God. Well, I know. Everybody that wants to bitch and moan thinks some of that. But if you want something to whine about, you can find a clip of me to whine about. That's not hard. I've done 50,000 hours of radio. There's plenty of me saying something out of context that'll get you where you want to go for your little TikTok click-through. This is The Ramsey Show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, including her 2-book series so far on children's books. I'm Glad for Where I Am, just a recent bestseller for your kiddos. It's the second one in that series. Be sure and check it out. She's my co-host today, and my daughter. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Katie's in Minneapolis. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi. Good. Thank you. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I'm calling because I have a daughter who's going to be graduating college this month. She's going to have about $80,000 in student loan debt.
Good Lord.
I know. So here's the thing. My husband and I knew inheritance money would be coming our way, so we didn't push back on her going out of state where there's higher tuition. And we didn't really tell her we would pay for her college, but we told her we'd figure it out because we thought we might be able to do that. And that would be money coming from his side and my side. So my husband and I divorced when she was a sophomore in college. And then after the divorce, I did get my inheritance money. And so I have enough to pay it in full. And I want to do that very much. I want to help my daughter. The only thing I'm just wondering is, should I pay it in full or have him ask, and he would be willing if he had the money. He's just kind of, I don't know if he has it right now, to take on half of that burden of helping her.
Does he have
Even
the
though-
40,000?
Not right now. He does not.
Okay. All right. Does the divorce decree demand that you two pay this, or is this just something you all sort of kind of had a discussion about once way back there and never talked about it again?
Correct. There's nothing in the divorce decree on this.
Yeah. Your ex-husband's not going to give her any money.
Well, yeah. I think he wants to, and he would if he could. So that's where I'm thinking what I could do is just pay it in full and then ask him to pay me later, but I don't think I will ever see that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on speaking terms with him and you want to pay it in full, say, I just paid it off. One time we talked about it and you said you'd pay half. If you can ever give her the other 40, maybe she could use that towards a house or something.
Okay. Yeah, because it was a quite amicable. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. So if you can have that conversation, that would be fine. But then forget it. It's over. You don't get to go back later and go, where's that money? Right?
Right.
You just drop it.
Yeah, well,
you made a decision and you made a comment and you moved on. That's what I would do, because otherwise this is going to ride around rent free in your head.
Yeah. And we're friendly. It's quite amicable situation.
Not relative if he doesn't ever give her money.
Yeah.
And it bothers you and you lay awake and he doesn't think about it again. You'll be the only one thinking about this on the planet.
How much did you get from the inheritance, Katie?
Well, quite a bit. I was able to buy my own home after the divorce with it. So
what's quite a bit? How much did you get?
Do you feel comfortable saying it or no?
Sorry, just under $1 million.
Okay, yeah. So you have a paid off house. How are you doing financially? Because that's almost what I want to make sure that this money's being. Because I mean, it's $80,000. So I'm like, I want to make sure, Katie, you're set up well for your future retirement. I mean, like looking like we talk about doing that, laying that foundation for the parent first before the kids, and so.
Yeah.
Making sure that, where you are financially is in a good spot. So you bought your house outright, so you have no mortgage.
Correct.
And how are you doing with retirement investments and everything?
I think I'm okay. I have $700,000 in an IRA. Well, in an IRA, 85 in a 401k.
The house is worth what?
$500,000.
And you're how old?
55.
Cool. So you're a 55-year-old divorced millionaire. Cool. That's neat.
Oh, thanks to my mom.
I know. And so we want to honor that memory by being wise. If I'm in your shoes, yes, I would write a check based on what you have told me and pay off your daughter's student loans. And yes, I would make a phone call to the ex and say, hey, remember when we said that? I just paid the whole thing. When you get ready to pay her your half like you promised someday, she can use that for her first house or something else. And I'm not letting you off the hook. I wanted you to know I had done it, though. And drop it after that. Mm-hmm. Forget it ever happened. Just walk away and never think a thing about it again. Can you do that?
I can do that.
Okay. Because I don't want this becoming this constant thing like, well, when's he going to do his part, and all that. Mm-hmm. Because you're doing the only person you can control is you. And you can't control him. And, you're saying it's amicable and he intends to, and you have faith in him. I've just been doing this 35 years. My faith in the ex following through on a promise is fairly low. It's just fairly low. I just see, I guess nobody calls this show and says, oh, my ex followed through. That doesn't happen. Because
we hear the bad
we get only the other ones. Yeah. But yeah. I just wanted to let you know, Dave. No, I mean, that because I guess some of them do. Yeah. But I mean, we just don't run into it.
And thank God for, that she, I hate to say that because it was her mom's passing, so I didn't mean that, but just that she's in the situation she's in, because that's another reason why we say don't take on debt, because life happens. And they had this plan.
Yeah.
And then end up getting divorced in the middle of school. And if this inheritance hadn't come, this daughter, if it's a Parent Plus loan, I'm like, both could be on the hook. But also, I don't know what the daughter signed. I don't know how they did the student loan agreement, but
the daughter signed up for it.
She could have been 80. I mean, she would have been 80 grand thinking like, we'll take care of it too. So that's the asterisk too of this story, is that you're taking on risk. Always, 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 always when you take on this debt. And life rarely plays out exactly how we have it planned out.
Like never.
And, so it's just that word of caution. But Katie, I'm so sorry. That's a hard season, Katie. Losing your mom, the divorce in the middle of it, and that's hard. That's really hard. But this is a redeeming, beautiful thing that you'll be able to do from a financial aspect to be wise with. So I'm glad you called in.
Very good. Very cool. Good stuff. So the cool thing about student loans is they shouldn't be there at all. Almost all of student loan debt is based on someone choosing to go to a school that they could have gone to a cheaper school and paid cash. Almost every time. You're choosing a school you can't afford, just like choosing a car you can't afford. And so I can buy a car to drive around for $5,000. I have $5,000. Or I can buy a $50,000 car because it's a nicer car and go $45,000 in debt. That's a choice. It wasn't a requirement to have transportation. It was you chose poorly, and you choose to go to a school you freaking can't afford. Moms and dads, you need to learn a new word. No. It's a new word. Try it. No. Everybody practice with me. No. This is The Ramsey Show. Your home is probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make. And with the real estate market like it is now, you'll need a mortgage company you can trust. That's Churchill Mortgage. You guys, buying a home is not a button push. It's a process. It takes building a relationship with an expert who will dig into the details and give you peace of mind without busting your budget. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country. And they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Go to churchillmortgage.com to get started. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. I was going over my notes this morning to get ready to speak this weekend at the Total Money Makeover weekend. I am so excited to get to do this. I haven't done the classic Total Money Makeover material in a while, and I'm getting to do some stuff I haven't done before. This Total Money Makeover weekend, I'll be speaking, of course, Rachel, Jade, George Camel, Ken Coleman on how to get your income up, John Deloney on how to bring more peace to your life overall, getting out of debt, creating a budget, communicating better with your spouse, easing anxiety, investing and building for retirement. And it's a whole thing. We start on Friday night this coming weekend and go all through Saturday. And a live taping of the hit podcast Smart Money Happy Hour with Rachel and George. We've got live Q&A all through the thing. It is going to be an absolute blast. And there's still some tickets left, sadly. I thought it would be sold out by now, but I was wrong. So we'd love to have you guys. It's right here on the Ramsey campus this coming Friday, May 10th and 11th. You could come a little early and watch the show be done. We do the show every day from 1 to 4 Central Time on the glass. Following that, grab a bite to eat somewhere and then come on up on top of the hill to the Ramsey Event Center, and we'll be doing the event. So you can get your tickets at RamseySolutions.com/events, and handful of tickets left. You can still get in, and we're excited about doing this.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. It's always fun. Our events are always enjoyable, and we'll all be there. And I like that it's so money-focused the whole weekend, which will be great.
Yeah, you'll laugh, you'll cry. You can bring that spouse that needs to be converted or that friend that thinks you're crazy, and they will leave being as crazy as you. Yeah, that can happen. Daniel's with us in Tallahassee. Hi, Daniel. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, Rachel, how are you guys doing?
Better than we deserve, sir. What's up?
All right, just a quick question. So basically, after some convincing, I did get my wife on board. We are both on board when it comes to attacking our debt. I want to be gazelle and Samson, if I can borrow the language you guys use. She wants to be more on the intentional side while still taking care of things that she thinks are still important. So I'm the grumpy guy who says, I don't want to do nothing. No more Christmas, no more gifts, no more nothing. Let's just be.
Did you say no more Christmas?
Well, no more. Yeah, yes, I could.
Well, no wonder you're unpopular, Grinch.
Yeah, I am the Grinch. I'm not a big on the, only because I'm like, how can we strip down to the bare minimum?
Oh, I'll go with that. But I mean, you start with Christmas. I'm cutting some of your stuff before we're getting to Christmas, buddy. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. No wonder she's not enthused about you.
So my question, well, I guess I introduced her to, we both, I introduced her to sinking funds, and now it seems like we're starting to have a growing amount of sinking funds so we can stop dealing with things as they come up, and it's helped. We have the money when we need it, but I feel like the sinking funds are taking a little too much of the margin. I would like to attack the debt at a more aggressive speed, so I don't know how to compromise with her, and we're running at different paces here, it seems like.
What are the sinking funds for?
Let me pull up every dollar just to give a few examplos here. But so
she's
every
pretty
year,
on board. She's doing every dollar. Okay, keep going. Sorry, go ahead.
For instance, the homeschool program every year comes around August, September. We pay for that. We used to go into debt for that, but we stopped doing that since we stopped this whole.
How is that a waste?
It's not a waste. Some of these are not a waste. That's not a waste.
Okay, we need a for instance. That's one of these things that's
waste.
bothering you.
Give us a waste.
That one's not bothering you. If it is, you got an issue.
No.
My daughter's birthday. It's coming up. This is so bad. Now that I realize, okay, but we're saving up some of that because.
How much are we planning to spend on the daughter's birthday?
I have twin girls, so we're setting aside $100 a month.
You're going to spend $1,200 on a birthday party?
No, it's coming up. No, it's about $500. It's coming in August, so it's
so $250 a kid.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So your argument is that might be too much.
No, I feel like they're starting to all add up.
Well, they're adding up because they're real. I mean, that food thing, it adds up.
Yeah, because I think, Daniel, there could be an instance of like, oh my gosh, life is expensive where y'all have just been charging everything. You said the homeschool stuff, we just go into debt for it. You almost just delayed everything. And now when you're paying for stuff so up front, it is going to feel like, that there is more. Yeah,
you're actually admitting what's going on now by doing a budget with sinking funds, and you weren't before. So
unless it's a vacation, right? Gazelle Intense, I would say
we don't do vacations.
Let's pause 12 months on the vacation.
Eating out. We're going to pause.
Like a couple of things to do, but
but
the reality of life and what life costs may be the thing that's like, oh crap, this is a lot. And when we're cash flowing everything, like what we teach, you really face, oh my gosh, our life is eating up so much of our money because life is expensive. So there could be stuff that you guys tweak here or there. But
yeah. So Daniel, it sounds like that. You're I don't think you're on as different a page as you think you are. I think your argument's not with her. It's with reality you're struggling. And so let's give it a month or two and just kind of see if the emotions of this iron out. Okay. I appreciate and embrace your enthusiasm. I appreciate and embrace your passion to get this done. Those are keys to getting it done. And so you keep that part going.
Yeah.
But just don't blame. I don't think she's to blame. Nothing you gave me here was like that she's acting like she's not intense. I mean, we're going to buy clothes and we're going to buy food and we're going to pay for the homeschool materials and, we're going to have a birthday party. It might be a little high, but it's not throwing you off by 2 years.
Thousands. Yeah, right.
You didn't tell me you spent $12,000 or 12. If you just said 1,200, I'd probably say, that's a bit much. But yeah. But and it depends on the age of the kid and all that kind of stuff too. I mean, if you got twin 1-year-olds, they don't even know you're doing this, so you're doing it for you. So then that's a different thing. So, but if they're twin 10-year-olds, they definitely know. They know everything about what's happening there. Mm-hmm. And I guess a visit to the Magic Mouse, Mr. Cheesy, what's his name?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheesy. Yeah, the Magic Mouse. I guess that's probably a couple of $100.
I was like, Mickey Mouse?
I'm thinking Chucky's probably a couple of $100 to go down there.
I mean, per kid. Yeah, I mean, those birthday parties at those places, you're paying per kid. And
Okay.
So, I mean, the packages, it can be
expensive.
expensive.
You've had them down there. I don't know what they cost, but I've been down there when it happened.
$20 a kid, $30 a kid for the unlimited stuff.
Me and the mouse are in there. Yeah.
We've drug Dave to Chuck E. Cheese, indoor trampoline parks. There's been a lot of great birthday parties.
Yeah.
A lot of great birthday parties.
There's not enough disinfectant in the world.
There are some.
Gross.
It's full of kids. It's full of kids.
Little sweaty kids.
Full of kids.
All over it's just nasty. But yeah, I'm guessing that, I've been to those with the grandkids, and I'm guessing you guys are shelling out.
Yeah.
$100,
yeah.
right?
So I would say if you're getting out of debt, the birthday party's probably at home. You're ordering some pizza, having some friends over, and calling it a day. I mean, you know what I mean? If you're gonna go just the simple route.
Yeah.
And it can be done. That's possible.
But the thing here, Daniel, I think is, as we talk through this with you, everything you brought to us were things that were not out of bounds. And so it didn't sound like your wife with the sinking funds is like destroying your little plan. It's more like reality is destroying your little plan and dampering your enthusiasm.
And it's actually a really great point. I hadn't thought about that. But for a lot of people that are starting this process, when you say no debt, so that we can pay off debt, then those expenses are real. It's not this we can just worry about that later.
Real
Kick
money
the
now.
can down the down the road. But then that's the power too, though. To his point, is that's when you can cut some of those things. You're like, oh my gosh, what were we paying for that? Maybe there's a cheaper homeschool program or whatever, right? That's when you actually start caring about the expenses because you're seeing it in real time and in real life.
I've been doing this show for over 30 years, and some of the saddest calls I've taken are from situations that are completely preventable.
Yeah, and what's so hard is I feel like one of those, especially the ones that I'm like, oh, it's terrible, are people that call in and their spouse has passed away suddenly and they don't have life insurance. We actually took a question of a lady, and she had 3 kids, pregnant, and husband didn't have life insurance. And I'm like, I can't even imagine. Or even if it was opposite, right? If a mom passed away, there's a dad with kids and trying to figure out, how am I going to afford childcare? How do I outsource some stuff that maybe she was doing? And it just takes the grief and the sadness of something like a sudden death to a whole new level. When you have to think through, how am I going to pay my bills?
How am I going to eat next week?
Yeah, the middle of all that grief. It's terrible. And so life insurance is the one thing, especially as a mom with 3 little kids, that I'm so big on for people to get because it's inexpensive. Xander is the place that Winston and I actually get all of our life insurance, and we keep re-upping it because I'm I just want it there. There's something about that safety of knowing that you have money if something suddenly happens.
And it doesn't cost much because Xander shops among a gazillion different companies. It doesn't cost much. You just have to admit that someday you're not going to be here. You got to say it out loud, and you got to say, I'm going to say I love you to my family by taking care of them and taking the time to put this stuff in place. It costs us stinking pizza.
It really is. So that is one thing to do, to say I love you to your family.
So we've used Xander for all of our family's needs for insurance for many years, including, of course, term life insurance. To get a free quote, go to 800-356-4282. That's 800-356-4282, or go to Xander.com. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions is the debt-free stage. On the debt-free stage is Ruben and Kirsten. Hi, guys. How are you?
We're awesome.
Hey, Dave.
Welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you. So where do you guys live?
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Colorado. All right. Well, welcome to Nashville. Good to have you. And how much debt have you two paid off?
We paid off $270,000 in 5 years.
Wow.
Nice.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started at $72,000 and then went up to $112,000.
Very good. Nice. Very good. What do you do for a living?
We both work in the finance department of a software supply chain management company.
Okay.
Awesome. Same place, same company?
Yep.
That's fun. Did you guys meet there?
We actually met at a different location, and we've worked together the entire time. We've known each other, just years. Different places.
That's awesome. So great.
So how long have you been married?
It'll be 6 years next month.
So right after marriage, boom, boom, we're getting out of debt.
Yep.
5 years, game on. What kind of debt was the 270?
This was our house.
You paid off your house?
Oh,
Looking at a couple of weirdos. I love it. You're so weird. What's this house worth?
Probably about $425,000.
I love it. And how old are you two weirdos?
30?
30 years old.
I'm 31. Oh. He's 35.
Okay. Close enough. Close
Ruben's
enough.
trying to get some youth.
Good move, Ruben. Well played. Yeah. I like it. Hey, very good,
in
guys.
Your early 30s. That's amazing.
So you get married, and is this was the only debt you've been working on, or did you pay off others before that?
So it started about 8 years ago, but we cash flowed my bachelor's degree, our wedding, our honeymoon to Alaska. Just saved like crazy, and then during the payoff, we paid off about $50,000 in home renovations.
Yeah,
wow.
And paid $270,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Way to go, guys! What in the world happened to y'all that made you so weird? This is wonderful. Like a year after marriage, it's game on the house.
Yeah, basically started for me about 8 years ago, driving home from work in a job that I hated, and just really wasn't happy about who I was and where I was at in life. Turned you on. You just happened to be, actually, I turned on the radio. You just happened to be on the radio, and never listened to the radio back then, and heard your voice, heard your name before, but had never truly listened to you. And some context, my grandparents, my dad, they've been huge influences on my life. They basically practice your principles from day one, pay cash for things, live on less than you make, God's and grandma's ways of handling money.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard you, like, that instantly clicked for me. So I was super just intrigued at that moment, but I also just loved how raw you were with the callers. I don't want to see you in a restaurant without you, unless you're working there. You need to sell your truck, So like I was pumped up just listening to you, and you really started talking about changing your family tree and talking about things that really hit me hard. Changing who you are, changing.
Wow.
Really just owning up to yourself. And taking control of your life, and that hit me hard because, just when I heard that, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, if I'm ever gonna have the things that I love and really want in my life, then I need to do something about it. I didn't have a money problem. I had a me problem. So thank you.
That's amazing. And that's it. I'm like, that's the key for so many people. It's that awakening of like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Like I can wake up tomorrow and make different decisions. It's so empowering. So you guys had babies during this time. How old are the kids?
Isaac is 2 and Ruby is 7 months.
Okay. So y'all have little ones. Yeah. So what was the hardest part of this? I mean, this is a lot of money, you guys, that you paid off. A lot of, I'm sure, extra work and everything. But yeah, what was difficult?
I think just staying the track. It could have been really easy to divert the plan, or just make other decisions. We've had hail damaged cars our pretty much whole lives. We just don't care. But it could have been really easy to move to divert, but we had a better purpose, and we knew we were bringing kids into the world at some point. And
Well, was it worth it?
Oh, it was so worth it.
absolutely.
Who made fun of you?
We got called crazy a lot, but nothing like down-putting. That was just more poking fun, and it encouraged us just in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did you have some cheerleaders, people that were supporting?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good.
And another thing that was kind of hard for us, I guess, is I had a townhome in like 2015, and it was super cheap. You know, it's not the best part of the Springs, and there was a lot of crime activity. Drive-by was across the street. You know, somebody had gotten killed, shot and killed. So people were like, "You need to get out of there." And we're like, "No, we got this. You know, we're doing this for a reason. You know, this is for a purpose." So that was, yeah.
Yeah, the location. And then you got the house, though. So you moved out of that.
Yeah, we just knew that we wanted to wait until after we were married and do things in the right way. And
yeah.
We stayed there longer than we should have, but we did. And we're still here. We weren't shot, so.
So there you go. Oh, you guys, that's incredible.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say that so pleasantly. We're still here and we didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Way to go, Kirsten. I love it. Good for you guys. Way to go, you guys. I'm so proud of you. I would imagine your mom and dad are jumping up and down proud, aren't they, Ruben?
Oh man, well, my mom passed away in 2008, so you know part of that was she did have a $30,000 in life insurance that we were able to put down on the house that we're in now. So to honor that or honor her that way has been awesome, and you know,
it's incredible.
Cool.
So great, you guys. So great. So what would you say to people the key of getting out of debt is?
For us, when we initially got the mortgage, we put the extra principal when we did the paperwork. So there was that gap for us. Like the extra payment was automatically coming out. So we just got used to that being our mortgage payment, even though it was more than double. And it put that gap. So you couldn't make any real impulse decisions, and that would take you off of your goal.
Yeah, that's great. That's a smart way of doing it for sure.
Automate your discipline.
Yep.
I like that.
Just keep it going.
That's a good plan. I used to do that to myself all the time. Until I had natural discipline, I put stuff on auto everything, so it just automatically happened. And I went, oh, now I have to live on what's left because I put all that money in a mutual fund. You know, it's like, wow, that's very cool. Good for y'all. Well done. Very well done. Congratulations. All right, it's you want to bring Isaac and Ruby up for the debt-free scream?
Isaac,
come on.
So sweet. Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Oh.
7 months.
7 months. We're gonna scare her. She's gonna get scared to death when her mom and dad yell.
I know.
I hope so.
The babies, they always get a little frightened with the screams. So great.
I love it. All right, Ruben and Kirsten, Isaac and Ruby's heroes. They've changed their family tree. Early 30s with a paid-for house in Colorado Springs. Meanwhile, America sits around in some places whining that it can't be done. These two proved that it is done every day. This is what you call millennials. This is what you call millennials that win, and we see them all the time. Or Gen Z. Ruben and Kirsten, paid-for house, Colorado Springs, 270 paid off in 5 years, making 72 to 172. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free!
Yay! As predicted, scared poor Ruby to death.
I think Isaac got a little scared too. Jumped.
There's a lot going on there.
That's so great. Amazing. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so for every time I hear that you and I on the Ramsey show and Jade and George and we're out of touch and we don't know what the real world is today and you're speaking boomer language and all that kind of stuff, all these negative things that are out there, then we meet people like them.
Yep, Kirsten and Ruben. And they do, I know.
Not just purchased a home, but they paid it off in 5 years and they're 31 years
And I think
old.
it was making 112, not 172. 72 to 112.
Oh, I wrote that down. It looked like a 7.
No, but I'm saying, you know, it's
not like they're making $300K.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's amazing, and it is. It's the discipline, and it's choosing, and now it's the whole idea that now, oh my gosh, there's no payments, but they did it. Well, Ruben said, y'all could replay that monologue for over and over on loop because it's true. I'm like,
you have to change you.
Yeah, you take responsibility, and it's amazing.
Yeah, he said the guy in my mirror had to change.
Yep.
And he did. I'm so proud of him. What a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And he's changed his kids' lives.
Yes. And Kirsten just killing it. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well done. Well done. This is the Ramsey Show. You've been gazelle intense, you've eaten more beans and rice than you knew existed, and now you're ready to make your biggest investment better. Blinds.com is a great way to dress up a room or your entire home. Whether you're comfortable with do-it-yourself projects or you don't even know what a Phillips head screwdriver is, well, trust Blinds.com to take care of you like Ramsey would. You can do the measuring and installation yourself, or you can let Blinds.com's professionals handle everything for you. Blinds.com offers a completely hassle-free experience. Count on them to deliver stylish window treatments from premium brands without the premium markup. You'll never have to deal with pushy salespeople in your home just to get a quote. But you can count on free shipping, free samples, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee so that you can rest easy. That's why we've recommended Blinds.com for over 10 years. Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 50% off. That's Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, is my co-host. Stephen is with us in Chattanooga. Hi, Stephen. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello.
Hi.
Here we go. So I'm about to be divorced. The income disparity between my wife and I is pretty great. So I have a large amount coming my way in a quadro, and alimony coming my way, 3 years of bonus money of her coming my way. We're going to be selling a home here soon, and I'll get about $100K out of that. I want to get myself into a house and have it paid for in the next few years. I don't have any retirement or anything set up yet. I'm 46. My income is growing rapidly. I'm a brand new barber. I'll make about $30,000 this year, but I believe every year probably go up about $10K.
Okay.
Where am I going with this? What do I do with this quadro? I'm going to have
quadro's got to be put into an IRA. You've got to leave it alone. If you cash that out, you're going to get penalized in tax. You got to leave it alone.
Yeah, so just pretend it doesn't exist.
Exactly. You need to get with a SmartVestor Pro at RamseySolutions.com and find somebody to sit down with, and they can help you do the rollover, and you can move that into your own personal IRA and some mutual funds and have no taxes on it. But if you pull it out and screw with it, you're going to have taxes on it. So leave it alone because it's in her. You're taking all it is a section of her 401k being sliced off for you.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I had thought about using that for a down payment.
No. You're getting $100 out of the home, and you're getting what other money? You said you're getting a couple of bonuses and other stuff. How much money total?
Yes.
Not counting the quadro.
4 years of alimony, $875 a month, and 3 years, 25% of her bonus. It'll be about $8 to $10 grand each year.
Oh, it's not all in a lump sum.
No.
The only lump sum that we can touch then is the $100K.
You're going to get $8,000. You're going to get $8,700 a month. Is that what you said?
I'll be getting about $1,600 a month in alimony and child support.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's broken up over 4 years, and my income will be increasing over that time as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to be looking at putting $100,000 down on a house. That's what you've got.
Yeah, and just ignore that quadro.
Yeah, you've got to, because it'd be like taking the money out at 30% interest.
Yeah, because all just gets taxed.
You're going to get taxed and a 10% penalty. You're going to get hammered. So you leave that puppy alone and just go do you a house of some kind with 100 down based on the current income that you've got. And you can count palimony, you can count child. I mean, you can count all of that in terms of as long as it's going to continue. And that'll offset the fact that your income hasn't gone up. Or you can wait a year and let your income come up. Mm-hmm. And then you've got a story to tell to a mortgage company showing tax returns as a new barber that I made this, and then I made this, and then I made this, and here's a trend line, and so it's reasonable to qualify you based on those things. You got to have 2 years tax returns as a new self-employed person, and then you'll be able to move forward on that. But yeah, just take your time. There's no reason to, you are getting some money out of the divorce, but it's not exactly like you hit the lotto. I mean, it's a nice amount of money, but it's not not going to put you on easy street. You're still going to be doing a bunch of careful things there. Today's question of the day comes from Taylor in Mississippi.
Taylor says, I'm currently 12 weeks pregnant with a baby girl from my boyfriend. I recently lost a loved one who left me a large inheritance. I have $40,000 of debt, and my boyfriend is debt-free. Do I take this inheritance and put towards my debt and then take what's left and put down 20% on a house? My boyfriend and I plan on getting married, but for some reason, he's really against getting married before I have the baby. That's weird. Okay, well, I don't know why that would be the case, but that's what I would do. Yeah, I would take the inheritance. I'd pay off your debt. Taylor, I would keep everything so separate. If you bought a house, I would buy it on what you make, your income, your life. I mean, I would be very, very hesitant to put him on anything. I wouldn't put him on anything.
Not hesitant. Just
don't do it. And I probably wouldn't do anything until the baby comes. I mean, honestly, I don't think I would make a big decision like.
Well, pay off your debt.
Pay off your debt, but I wouldn't buy a house pregnant. I would continue to rent, maybe rent for the next year or two. Then hopefully you guys get married. Then after you have the baby. And then you guys together, after you're married, look and see, okay, let's purchase a house. But while you're pregnant, I wouldn't take some of this inheritance and put a down payment. I would rent, be where you are for 1 to 2 years, and then from there see what happens relationally, if that changes, and then even just financially at that point.
Yeah, I'm old.
Why is he?
There's a term from my generation.
Okay, careful.
Called shotgun wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you got a baby on the way, buddy, you show up, or daddy's going to bring a shotgun and help you show up.
Oh my gosh,
that's what that means. That's where that comes from. That's where that comes from. I'm going to bring my shotgun, and by God, you're going to marry her.
I just thought you meant a fast wedding. Okay.
No,
yes.
This is like disturbing.
But I agree. Well, I agree that it's weird that he's like really
weird.
Against getting married.
It's bass backwards.
It's
just
sure.
It's not weird. It's just wrong, and it just
I hear you.
My warning bells are going off like crazy.
Mine is too, but I don't want to force her into a marriage with a terrible guy. So I'm like, right? No, I wouldn't. No, I would not say just go get married right now if he's not a great guy.
For some reason, he doesn't. Okay, so don't put this guy's name on anything until he is a husband, and period.
Yeah.
Under any circumstances, and don't put anybody you're not married to. Period. No matter how sweet and wonderful they are, their name on your freaking house. You get yourself in a disaster. This just all right, John's in Colorado Springs. Hey, John, how are you?
How are you? Good. How are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
So I've got a bet with my wife on what we should do with our side hustle money. So we owe $102,000 left on our house. We have no other debt. We have our rainy day fund, our money and savings. We give 15% to our 401k and our pension.
Mm-hmm.
Our interest rate on our house is 2.2%. Mm-hmm. I make between 30 and 60,000 on our side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that we take the 30 to 60 every year and put it in mutual funds because the rate of return is greater than the 2.2% on the house. My wife says
your wife has been listening to the show and she set you up.
Yeah, she said that we need to just pay off the house.
She set you up. Yeah, I hope you didn't bet much.
No.
John, what we teach and have the entire time we've been on the air for 30 years is that you pay off your house as fast as possible, regardless of the interest rate, beyond the 15%, because in doing the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, we talked to 10,167 of them. Let me tell you how many of those 10,000 said we became a millionaire because we didn't pay off our house and instead made more money by investing the money in mutual funds. Out of 10,167, what number said we are going to go with John's plan? Zero. Not one. We've never met a millionaire who really did this. We've met a lot of people who have a theory and discuss it the way you're discussing it, because you're a math guy like me, and I immediately go to where you're going to, because that's how my math brain works. You're looking at the spread. But right. what your spread doesn't take into consideration is risk. And the two elements of the two elements of someone getting their first $1 to $5 million is typically their 401k being well funded, which is 15% of your income going in, you're doing that, and a paid for house. And so you're on track if you follow her plan to be a millionaire faster than if we follow your plan, based on the data that we've studied of actual millionaires, not with mathematical theory. Because the math theory of what you're bringing up is reasonable. But the actual facts are, when you pay off your house, other stuff changes in your life, and you tend to excel in your career and do other things.
You can invest the mortgage payment.
Yeah. Exactly.
Once you don't have one.
Yeah, you can invest the mortgage payment like crazy. Yeah, you go into overdrive. This is The Ramsey Show. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter is my co-host today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Claire is with us in South Bend, Indiana. Hi, Claire. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, first, I just want to tell you really quick. I met my husband. One of the first dates we had, he told me that his dad raised him with the Bible in one hand and a Dave Ramsey book in the other. That's how I kind of was introduced to you, so I thought that'd be funny to kind of share.
That's a little scary, actually. Cool.
Well, it's led us on some good paths here. So,
good. How can we help?
Today I'm calling. I wanted to ask you, as you both know, daycare costs are really high. We are expecting our second child in August, which we're really excited about. We both work, my husband and I, full time, and so daycare is our option in life right now. When it comes to trying to figure out in our budget, we're on baby step 4, 5, 6, kind of like how to best budget for the upcoming expense of daycare. We are kind of at a loss with, we can't afford it, and that's not an issue, but it's where does it come out of? You know, we're trying to figure out with our budget, does it maybe impact us right now we're putting 15% each into retirement for a season until my older son can go to a less expensive daycare. Do we put maybe 10% into retirement each, so we have a little bit more room to give to the daycare for our second child when he goes to daycare, or, you know, kind of trying to figure that out.
What's your household income?
We currently make $121 a year.
Okay. So 15% is $20,000. Okay.
Yeah.
And daycare is how much?
Right now, we pay $311 a week for our son. So that's roughly, depending on the month, it could be between 1,500 and 1,200, 1,500. But with the second child, we get a small 10% discount, and it could be anywhere between $2,100 a month to $2,700 a month at the daycare we're currently at.
Yeah, so it'll be $3,000 a month is what you guys will be paying. Yep, in daycare. And how much do you make a year?
So I currently make $55,000 a year.
Okay.
And my husband makes, I think when I broke it down, it's 60.
Oh, that's right. You said 121 household. Yep. Sorry, I had that number. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Do you guys have, Claire? Do you guys have margin in your budget when you budget month to month? Do you have money that you're putting away in savings just for other things? Is there, what does your budget look like?
Yeah, so typically in a month we put towards retirement and some other savings about $1,300, and then extra we have left over for gas. We donate to our church, groceries, household items, utensils, toilet paper, things like that. So we do have, we budget as close as we can with everything, but just trying to figure out when before baby comes and everything else, how much more do we save? And then that will only last us for so long. And again, this is only for a short period of time because our son could go to a different daycare when he's 4, the oldest, and it would be a third of the cost. So it's not going to be forever that we would be in this predicament, but just for a short period of time, we're just going to be at a higher daycare cost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think in a perfect world, you're finding that margin other places and what that looks like, because that 15% is, I mean, that's a key part for you guys in the future. And so I don't know what other lifestyle expenses look like of shoring those up. Maybe saying, hey, we got to find some margin other places in that budget, because I think that's the hard thing too. The reality of oh my gosh, kids, they cost a lot, and especially when you're talking about an expense like daycare, it's so pricey. So yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, you would find that extra $1,300 elsewhere, but for you guys, you don't, at that point though, you don't have an option. And for me, childcare
for $30,000 a year, I'm going to start looking at alternatives too. I'm not going to just accept that as the only possible method.
Yeah, and that's something I started to look into as well.
Yeah.
The one other option we discussed was not contributing to the 529 plan for a little while for our son, because my mom's contributing.
No, I'm talking about other daycare options.
Yes, that too. We have looked at other daycare options.
$30,000.
Yeah, but $311 a week. I mean, that's pretty standard. I mean, that's not unreasonable. That's not an unreasonable amount. But
it gives me a lot of thoughts when I start talking about $30,000 a year.
Yep.
I can start thinking about a lot of different things then. So, but yeah, I would look at all that. And I'm with Rachel. Probably one of the last places I would go would be to the retirement.
I would do 529 before retirement.
Yeah, I would. I agree.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
I'd pull that off, and then I really would honestly look at alternatives on the daycare because it's such an onerous amount as a percentage of your budget that they have priced themselves out of somebody who makes $120,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. And that's...
Yeah, they price themselves out of it. And so you're not far from affording a nanny for $30K. I mean, not far at all. So, I mean, it can be done. So I start thinking about it different. It's kind of like, if you're going to charge me $120,000 a year for a nursing home, for $120,000 a year, I can hire a full-time in-house butler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't do everything.
Buy a reclining bed.
Yes, I know, but I know her feel, and I've done the research even locally, the moms that work here at Ramsey. I'm like, it is a crazy expense. And then you ask us, for so many women, you ask the question, is it even worth it? Right? Because it's the $20,000 extra. So instead of making $121, we make $100. is that worth right? I mean, like you have to play out all these different scenarios, but it does this part though. It makes me, as a mom with little ones, it sucks because they have trapped us in a sense. It can feel like that with the prices. They go up as people,
well, there's
and
a supply demand curve. I mean, when you
and
raise
people
the
are
prices,
paying it. So they're open. They stay open. They're paying it.
Well,
and
when price raises to a certain point, the volume comes down. That's supply demand, and so they're reaching the top of this because this has been a discussion like 10 times in the last year.
Well, yeah, and it's like 37%. It's risen since 2020.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
So they will end up, and that's what we talk to so many women that just end up saying, hey, I'll stay home, right? Like if you have 3 kids, right? I mean, you start to actually see that.
I'm working 40 hours, and after taxes and daycare, I net $5,000.
Right.
Screw that.
Right.
No, thank you. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And she's almost there. She's almost there. Not quite with her numbers, but
well, and the 4-year-old will go to a less expensive school, right? So there's
you got a light at the end of the tunnel with that.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. I know, but that's so hard, Claire. So hard. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. Mm-hmm. This is the Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The best way to make the most of your money is by creating and sticking to a monthly plan. People that win plan to win, and that includes money, and it's called a budget. Your budget should give every dollar an assignment, every dollar a mission, every dollar a name before the month begins, and you and your spouse agree on it if you're married. Every dollar is our budgeting app. The world's best budgeting app, one of the largest these days. Millions of people joining in the last just little. It's crazy, y'all. Thank you so much, by the way. It's an easy-to-use app that fits into your busy lifestyle. You and your spouse can both have access to it, see what's going on. You can keep a pulse on your spending, make progress on your money goals. Download Every Dollar for free in the App Store or Google Play today. And you can even get it at Every Dollar online at everydollar.com. just for your desktop if you want. Brianna is with us in Columbus, Ohio. Hi, Brianna. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So, quick question. So, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. So, my in-laws are on one income, and my mother-in-law has not worked in about 18 years, around that time. And she's just been making sure that everything's taken care of at the house. And so my father-in-law doesn't bring in all that much. They pretty much, they're okay, but they don't have any term life insurance. No, I don't believe they have anything for savings. My father-in-law, I'm concerned about him with his work. Because he does have a risk of he's more at risk for injury because of his health. And so my question for you guys is, with us children and daughter-in-laws and such, is there something that we need to be doing in case something happens to my father-in-law?
Just handling your money. I mean, if you become wealthy, the wealthier you become, the more able you are to help, right?
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking, because I'm in my mid-20s, and I'm trying to get a good handle on my money. I'm starting the baby steps.
That's the best thing you can do for them.
Okay.
Is to get you strong. The weak can't help the strong. Can't help the weak.
Yeah, and that's so. How would you recommend I best do this?
Baby steps.
Do I do a
baby steps? No, just baby steps. Just go. You go become wealthy. If you've got money, you'll have some money. You don't have to have a parent account. If you got $1 million in a mutual fund and they have a problem, you can help them, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to have their name on it.
Should I do a high yield savings or?
No, you ought to follow the baby steps.
Okay.
Exactly. That's the fastest method to you becoming wealthy, and the best thing you can do for them is for you to become wealthy.
Okay.
But no, you should not truncate your retirement savings and say, or your kid's college and say, I'm not doing baby steps 4 and 5. Instead, I'm going to have a father-in-law account. No, thank you. No.
Yeah, and Brianna, have you guys talked to them about their money? Like, do you know all this for a fact? Is your husband, like you guys know this?
So we do know that they do not have really anything saved.
Have they said anything about what their plans are? Or is he just planning on working longer?
He's kind of just planning to work until he can't.
Okay. Yeah, and so, I mean, and too, I would say this too, Brianna, I wouldn't be like overly stressed about it because at this point you can't do anything to help. They can't help themselves, right? And nothing has happened yet, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, my father-in-law is now on workers' comp because he got an injury and my mother-in-law now has to go back to work. How do I help navigate the situation? Right, there is no situation right now. There could be. So I think, being wise about the people around you, the family unit around you of saying this is our life and this could be coming in the future. But right now, today, I'm with Dave. You and your husband, you guys start doing this. You start walking down the baby steps. And if you have the ability to help, if they need help, then you guys get to choose that at that point.
Will is in West Palm Beach, Florida. Hi, Will.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So, quick question for you. I'll keep it brief. Long story short, I graduated college last May, and I moved back home in, last July. So I've been home, got a job in November, so I've been working. I make roughly $75,000 a year, bring home $4,400. I got my master's. I let my mom handle all the finances for that. So in February, it was a little bit of a surprise to me that I was $70,000 in debt, $70,000 student loans. So I've been paying off those, trying to throw about $3,000 a month towards this. So I paid off roughly $6,400. I've got $35,000 saved up, and I'm wondering, that's in a high yield savings account. So I'm wondering, would it be wise to put that towards it right now?
Yes.
Or just continue?
And in the same day that you do that, which is today, you take control of your own money. You have a master's degree. You're a grown man.
Yep.
You need to manage your money, not your mother. And then right after that, when you start talking about where a $75,000 a year college graduate's going to live that's not his mother's house.
Correct.
So 3 things. Yeah, move out, take control of your life, and write a check and pay down the student loans. Ding, 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 ding. And all of a sudden, this stuff's going to start lining up for you like crazy. What's your master's in, man?
Finance, investments.
Okay, good. All right, so you can handle this then, right?
No, of course.
Okay, good.
I was
says, of
wondering
course.
what would be more wise.
Yeah.
Pay it towards the debt.
Yeah, let's get the debt cleaned up as fast as you can.
For $35,000, I mean, you obviously took advantage of not having the rent to pay, right? Living at your parents, you took advantage of it because you have it saved, which is awesome.
I still pay them right.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, I was going to say you have 35,000 saved, so you're doing something right.
Yeah. You need to take over control of your own money immediately. You need to make plans to move out in the next 30 to 60 days and have yourself a life. And you need to pay down on the student loan as fast and furiously as you can, because your number one wealth building tool is not interest rates. Your number one wealth building tool is your income. And when it's not going to someone else in the form of debt payments, building wealth becomes fairly easy, especially, Will, for a guy like you who knows numbers and has done a great job of saving money. You did an amazing job, to Rachel's point.
Well, and Will, I mean, at this season of life, I would do exactly what he said. I'd go get a part-time job. I would go drive Uber. I would do something 4 nights a week, and just make a crap ton of money right now and pay this off.
Yeah, get this knocked out as fast as you possibly can.
And just say for 12 months, I'm going to just work and get this out of here because it can be done, and you're in the perfect season to do it, right? I'm like, you really are. You're I find, I think it does get harder when there's another spouse involved, right? Because you got another person to consider. Then you have kids, and like as you kick the can down the road, there's more elements to your life that you're having to consider.
The bad news is when you're single, there's no one to hold you accountable. The good news is you don't have to mess with anybody else to make a decision to change your life.
That's right.
You can just decide to do it. Today.
Yep.
Today.
It's great. Well,
just like that.
And let me say this. I mean, I feel for you, Will, because he had no clue he had the $70,000. He said his mom took care of all the money stuff during college, and then he realized, oh my gosh, now I have $70,000. Isn't that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of surprised him.
Mm-hmm.
So parents, talk to your kids. Say it out loud. Have the discussion, because that sucks. That happened to one of my friends. They went to pull a loan for a mortgage, and on her credit report, there was a student loan that they didn't know about. No one said anything about it. So communicate, parents. Communicate.
This is the Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Jade is in Ottawa, Ontario. Hi, Jade. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yeah, so I had a couple of questions. So this year kind of fell on a little bit of hard times when it comes to finances. So I have roughly $237,000 in debt. 205 of that is in a mortgage, and the rest is car loans, line of credit, and credit cards. So I'm a single parent, and I am only bringing in roughly $3,500 a month. So the debt is starting to become overwhelming. I'm wondering if
When did you buy the house?
I bought the house in 2018. So the house is worth about $630,000 now.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't make a ton of money. The house doesn't sound completely unreasonable, but my guess is
What's your mortgage payment a month?
So when I first got in the house, I had a really low rate. But now that I've had to renew, my mortgage payment has went from $1,000 a month to $1,400 a month.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you're bumping up close to 50% of your income being your mortgage.
Yeah, and then I had.
Why did you not take a fixed? Why did you not take a fixed rate mortgage?
So I did take a fixed rate. I had a fixed rate before, and then when I renewed, I took a fixed rate as well.
Why would you renew if you had a fixed rate?
So here in Canada, you have to renew. It's not like in the U.S.
So the rate adjusts.
Pardon?
The rate adjusts each time you renew.
Yes.
So there's only variable rate interest rate mortgages in Canada. I did not know that.
No, they're fixed.
Well, it's
but
not
the
fixed if it goes up every year.
No, you got to when you renew.
No.
How often do you have to renew?
So you can either choose a 3-year fix or a 5-year fix, and the 5-year is the maximum that you can hold a rate for in Canada.
Wow. I just learned something.
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, that sucks.
I did know that. Yeah, I knew something around those lines. Okay, Jay, do you see your income going up anytime soon?
So the thing is, I have a business, and because of all the money that I've been spending, I haven't been able to put much into marketing for my business. So it's kind of been at a standstill.
Is that your income? Is your business, or is that a side hustle?
It's my business.
Okay. All right. So here's the straight on solution. Okay, you either sell the house or you get your income up, because you cannot keep this house with this income. It's not sustainable. That's where the stress is coming from.
Yeah.
Did you have that in a car payment, credit card debt? I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, well, the car payment, the credit card came because you couldn't afford the house. And then when you can't afford the house, you don't have any margin left to save, so you rent stuff up on credit cards, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, the house squeeze is showing up in the credit cards.
What do you do? What's your business, Jade?
So I have a commercial cleaning company.
Okay.
So we clean offices.
Okay, because you're making it's around. $3,500 a month, right? I mean, you're bringing in $45 a year. I'm just wondering if you can find something that you're making $60, right? I'm like, just any up of income.
Are you fully booked?
We're not fully booked.
Okay. I don't know why you have to spend money. All you got to do is go knock on doors and get you some clients.
Yeah. So I've been trying to do that. I've been a little bit busy with work and my son, but that's definitely something that I'm going to start doing.
If you don't do that, you're going to have to sell your house.
I was thinking, would renting it out be a good idea?
No, you don't need to be a landlord. You're broke.
That's a bad idea?
Yes, it's a really bad idea. Yes, either get your income up or sell it. Because and I think you ought to go get your income up. That's what I think you ought to do. I think you're going to have to focus on that.
Because this is a good, $1,400 a month is not terrible, right? And now compared to income, it is. But man, if you can get that income up, then you're in a good spot. You have so much equity.
If you could get to $4,000 a month, it's from $3,500. It changes the whole equation automatically. Then. And then you can start working your way out of the credit card debt, do away with those, and start living on a budget and being in control. But no, there's turning yourself into a landlord when you're broke makes you broker. Landlords, you need money to be a landlord. You need cash. You need margin. It doesn't make you money. It's a problem at first, especially when you're this tight, because this house is not going to rent for much more than your payment. So you're not. No. Don't go that way, please. Stay away from that. Dima is with us in Baltimore. Hi, Dima. How are you? One more time. Let's try it.
I said okay.
Oh.
No, we're going to put you on hold until we can get your phone straightened out. Riley's in Salt Lake City. Hi, Riley. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I've just got a question in regards to baby step 2. Working baby step 2. We've got 2 car loans, and they're both underwater. So we're looking to go down to 1 car for our family to try and speed this process up. But I just don't really know what to do in this situation where we're underwater.
What are your numbers, Riley? What do you owe on the cars, and how much are they worth?
We have a truck, which was a dumb decision, but it's got $36,000 left on the loan. It's worth $31,000.
Okay.
And then we have a car. The loan's $8,000, but it's probably worth about $3,500.
Okay. And what's your household income?
$90,000.
Okay. All right. And do you have any money?
Not too much, really. I mean, we just have the $1,000 saved up from baby step 1. And
Good. Who said the truck's worth 31?
I just looked in Kelly Blue Book.
Private sale or trade-in?
Private sale.
Okay. All right. So you need $5,000. Who do you owe the 36 to on the truck? Who's the lien holder?
It's just a local credit union.
Perfect. Go down there, sit down, talk to them, tell them you want to sell the truck, and sign a note for the difference.
Okay.
They'll let you do that because they already don't have fully collateralized loan, meaning that the truck is not worth what you owe, so they already have $5,000 unsecured, right? And if you just now have a $5,000 unsecured and you drive the old car until you get your mess cleaned up here, which making 90, you'll be able to turn the corner pretty quick on this. But you've identified where the whole sore spot is, and it's this truck. It's killing you.
Right.
What other debt do you guys have, Riley?
That'll be the last of the debt. We cleaned up
so $8,000 on the car and you'll be done.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great. I mean, that feels good, right?
Yeah,
Getting
you can
31 off, 36 off.
Knock that out and save up like crazy and either move up in the one-car family or move into a two-car family again and then move up. One hopscotch at either one. I don't care which you do. But, yeah, I think you're probably moving back into the car business after you get the other one paid off and this gone. And,
yeah, 4,000 sounds a lot better than 36,000.
Yeah.
And that's great. And then save up and you can get a used truck later.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was in your shoes. Dump the truck and sign a note for the difference at the credit union. And that, like you said, that just pushes it on out there. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our scripture of the day, John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last. And so whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. Bill Murray said, whatever you do, always give 100% unless you're donating blood.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. I have not heard. That's good. Ross is in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Ross. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I have just over $42,000 in student loan debt at a 5.625 interest rate. And I'm wondering if I should take some of the contributions out of my Roth IRA. I currently have about a $60,000 balance and put them towards the student loan debt.
No.
Enough.
I never take money out of retirement to pay off debt unless it's to avoid bankruptcy or foreclosure, because that money's going to grow tax-free that you've got in there to such a large amount that it would just be disturbing to me that you lost $1 million tax-free account for doing this, and that's what it would be at your age. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so, yeah. So what's your household income?
100,000. We'll be getting married next year, and that'll make it about 180.
Oh, cool. And you only have $40,000 in debt?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you'll be debt free in a year. Yeah, good. No, I would not sacrifice my Roth IRA on the altar of a year.
Okay. Yeah, I just was looking at the repayment calculator and just trying to consider it as an option, just because the monthly payments are, I feel like, really holding me back.
No. You misunderstand. $40,000 in less than a year. I don't give a crap what your calculator said. I want you to pay off your stinking loan now. You make 100, you're getting ready to make 180. I want that gone out of your income, lowered your lifestyle. If you make $180,000 a year, you can't find $40K in 12 months. Now that's after you're married, I understand. When's the marriage?
Should be next July.
Okay, good. So,
between now and then,
I'd love for you a year from July?
A year from this July, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So you have a year at $100K to work on it. If you don't get it knocked out during that time, shortly after marriage, I want you to knock it out. But I'd love for you to knock it out of your 100. Or do you have the ability to work extra and do? You got anything else you can sell other than trashing your Roth? But yeah, that kind of stuff. Let's just get in attack mode and say, I'm going to live on $60,000, which is just below average household income in America, as a single guy for 1 year, and knock this out.
Yeah, after tax, you get 100.
I know.
After tax is 80, right? So you live on 40. Put 40. That's 2 years, and but then you're going to be married. So it's a process for sure. But also, I would say, Ross, too, go work extra, up your income. Yeah, you're making 100, which is awesome. But it's just that, again, it's that singular focus of saying, what can I do to pay this off earlier, and run those numbers. Those are numbers you could be running. If I made an extra $2,000 a month doing this, or whatever it looks like, there's power in that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a thing. What if you made it into a game and said, okay, as a matter of personal pride, I'm going to walk into this marriage debt free. Now, game on. Just kind of make it a game, And so, okay, now what have I got to do? Yeah, lots of work, selling stuff, not going out to eat, and it turns into a game then. It's not life or death, but if you treated it like it was, you could make it. And that's kind of my point. And then for sure, when you're making 180, if there's any left, if you guys don't knock that out real fast, that's pretty lame. So, no, you don't need a payment calculator to figure that out. 180 minus 40, or 100 plus overtime and extra jobs minus 40. That's your calculator. That's what you're dealing with. And then minus lifestyle. Oh, wait, I don't have a life because I work all the time because I'm getting out of debt. Oh, that's okay, too. I like that one. That's a plan. That, I would just make it a matter of pride. I think it'd be kind of cool.
And pausing, too, Ross, your investing. So
more contributions to that Roth.
So that could free up a couple $1,000 too, right? A year, depending on what you're putting in your Roth. So that's good too.
Yeah, stop all investing temporarily while you attack your debt. That's baby step 2. Okay. For those of you that are new to this Ramsey game. Dan is in Atlanta. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world, sir?
Hey, I figured you'd say that. So wanted to get your thoughts on something. I am buying a house, which is really exciting. Now, I'm wanting to maximize my down payment. And really, when I started the year, I wasn't going to be buying a house, so I bought a new truck that I paid cash for. And so my question to you is, should I liquidate the truck, take that cash, and put that to the down payment of the house just to enhance going beyond that 20%? Or would you say, hey, just go in at what you're doing currently?
What is the truck worth?
$39,000.
And what's your household income?
Over 100.
Okay. And are you single?
No, married.
Okay. And what's her car worth?
We actually leased her car for $200 a month. No, nothing down.
Okay. No, I would not worry about putting extra down on the house until we got her car paid off.
Okay.
Her car needs to be paid off. You still have debt on it. A car lease is not renting a house. A car lease is an alternative form of financing. So that is a debt. You're in debt on her car. And you need to clean that up before we talk about anything else. So if you sell your truck, or if you don't sell your truck, her car debt needs to be going away very quickly. And if you need to sell your truck to do that, then that's something we can talk about. But that's, you should be doing that before you start talking about buying a house, and certainly before you start talking about putting extra down on a house. We should be clearing her debt on that, or the debt on her car. And so that's the route to go there.
Yeah, and we always say anything with wheels and motors not to be more than 50% of your take-home pay of your income,
of your household income,
and you're at $40,000. So you're getting up there. I mean, it was a nice truck for what you make, right? If you include her car.
If her car's value is over 10 grand, then your truck needs to go on that basis.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you probably have too much truck. And I think you kind of knew that, and that's why you made the call. So yeah, let's sell the truck, get you a decent truck out of the proceeds, and pay off her car, and whatever's left, though, that is extra down payment. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's a good point, Rachel. I didn't keep up with that part of the math on this, but yeah, you can really get into a pinch there.
But that's great though, saving 20%, Dan. I mean, for a down payment, that's a conversation that, again, people have been having a lot recently with the housing market. So we always applaud and congratulate. There's other stuff for you to do before you do that, but you guys have been saving really well, so that's great.
Yeah, you're way ahead of the game on that. Rachel's right, so congrats on that. I'm glad you're getting, and you're right, the way your brain's working is say, okay, what's more important, houses or cars? Well, financially, houses by far. Your personal residence is going to go up in value. Your stupid $40,000 truck's going to be worth $10,000 in about 20 minutes. They go down in value like a rock. That's where Chevy got that, like a rock. And so, oh, wait, I drive a Ford. No, wow, that's found on the road depreciated, F-O-R-D. So there you go. It all goes down in value, boys and girls. It all goes down in value. So, yeah, that's, where so your brain's telling you, I'm going to put money in something that's appreciating instead of depreciating.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I drove up in my 20s. I had bought a Jaguar. I thought I was
just such a fun. I know that you love Jaguars.
I thought it was a BA.
But I never hear of Jaguar. It's not like a Mercedes or a BMW that I feel like is
That's why I bought it, because I come from a neighborhood where we couldn't spell Jaguar. So,
yeah.
But I drove up and my grandpa was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a Jaguar." And he goes, "What'd that cost?" And it was like the 80s, and it was $30,000, And,
holy crap!
Yeah, it was a little expensive. And he goes, "Oh, that was dumb." And I'm like, "Why is that dumb? It's a nice car." And he said, "It's going to go down in value." And I said, "What's an investment?" He said, "My investments go up in value, son." There's a grandpa lesson right there. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.